It's casual, not formal. It's hosted by Rory Penland, and Renee in tow. It's time to start the show. 1, 2, 3, go!
Okay, welcome to another episode of It's Casual. This is episode 112, and we have a very special guest tonight, a comedian from way back in the day, Peter Fogel. I personally, as a comic who has seen his picture in all the comedy clubs that I've performed in, I want to call him Pete Fogel, but we're going to call him Peter Fogel because that's his professional name. That's what he's got on everything now. So. Renee, if we could play a clip of him doing his one-man show.
Without the other. I am Peter. I'm a 55-year-old baby boomer. I'm at the age now where birthdays seem to come a lot faster each year. What amazes me about getting older is that I have friends I've grown up with who have been married, get this, 30 to 35 years to the same person. Some are even grandparents. This amazes me. Why? Because I'm a bachelor. And the difference between a bachelor and a married man, bachelor comes home, sees what's in the fridge, goes to bed. Married man comes home, sees what's in bed, goes to the fridge. And what woman breaks up with her boyfriend on Valentine's Day, Armistice Day? I once had an Irish girlfriend break up with me on St. Patrick's Day, Kathleen. She was a flight attendant. She used to bring her work home with her, and it scared me. I remember it was over. Her parting words were, Peter, bye-bye. Bye now, bye-bye. 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 You can exit to the left. You can exit to the right. Maybe I'm just in denial.
Okay. Without further delay, let's go ahead and bring him up. Peter Fogel, ladies and gentlemen.
From Florida.
From Florida. Yeah, you mentioned
and here's
in
my
one
dog.
Of the clips. What is your dog's name?
My dog's name is. Can you see her?
Didn't catch it. Cute, very cute.
Can you see her?
Yeah, very cute dog.
Can you see her? There she is. That's Ginger. She leaves.
Ginger.
The beauty about. Can you see me all right?
Yes.
There we go. Yesterday we had a big spa day. Big spa day, nails clipped, genital area shaved, anal glands massaged, and next week the dog gets groomed.
I was about to say, wow, if we could all do that.
Did we get that?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I in one of your one of the videos that I saw of you mentioned a neighbor who was in Delray, and I was like, wait a minute, that's Florida. I thought he was in New York. And in another article that I read on you, it said
I've been at it. I'm sorry?
It said you were a Baldwin native. A Baldwin native.
Yeah. Yes, I was born and bred in Baldwin. I escaped. Yes, but I escaped in 1976.
Okay. So in 76, you came down to Florida.
Long time.
Which would explain.
No. I went to college, then I moved to Chicago.
Oh, Chicago. Okay.
No. I went to college, and in the early 80s, like 1980, I went to Chicago to start my stand-up career, but I was also training at the Second City Theater. If you've heard of the Second City, where all the great improvisational actors went out. So I trained there under the tutelage of Del Close, who's no longer with us. But we're going back 44 years, of course. And then I moved back to New York, and I was there right when the beginning of the boom was in New York City and comedy.
Mhm.
That was during the boom. I was there during
Right.
the comedy boom, and then I stayed
Mid to
there
late
for like
80s.
8 years. No, in '86 I moved to California, and back
Mhm.
to New York, '88 to '90. Then I moved back to LA one more time to make sure I wasn't going to be a star. So I had everything. I wanted to make sure I was not going to be a big star. So I went out to California for like 11 years. 2 months before 9/11, or
Oh
eventually
my
we're
goodness.
because if you're from New York, eventually you have to move to Florida. That's just the rule. It's the law.
Yeah, see, I started out in Florida. um, but yeah, I
Are
wanted
you
to ask
there?
you that when you were first starting out in comedy, did you want to become like a famous, like a household name? You want to be, you know?
Did you get all that,
I did. Did you get my question? Maybe not.
Rory?
Yeah. Can you hear
Did
me?
we?
You're breaking up a bit. Well, we got the gist of the story about moving out to LA and Chicago with Del Close and Second City. Oh, he's breaking up bad. He's freezing.
Oh, you. Where did you start out?
I started out in
Florida?
Tampa. Yeah, at the Comedy Corner. And made my way through the different various. You've worked for Groucho's with Larry Silver and Harrison Holland and the Bonkers and
Yeah. I mean,
Coconuts.
I trained as an actor. James,
Uh-huh.
can you see me? Yes, Melissa Leo
Yeah.
went to my acting school. So I trained as an actor in college. I got a Bachelor of Fine Arts in acting,
Mm-hmm.
basically, which is what every Jewish parent wants their children to major in, is theater.
What? Not a doctor? Not a lawyer?
I'm sorry, say that again.
I said, what? Not a doctor? Not a lawyer?
You're breaking up. I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, you're breaking up as well. It's that's unfortunate. Your Wi-Fi connection is a little on the rough side
Rory.
right now. Yeah. So you want?
I still
you
work.
Actually,
I still work for Larry Silver. I still work for
Yeah.
Larry Silver.
Yeah.
I still work for Larry Silver.
I don't. he won't use me anymore because I because of my political views.
You're breaking up
That
again.
that night I haven't done a new tape in 15 years because I was
Rory,
in China.
No. They said don't. We insist you go for 4 years and get a degree in acting. They insisted.
Well, there you go. And so you enjoy acting. You like acting
I'm so
as well
sorry.
as doing comedy.
But are you getting most of it? Say it again.
I said you enjoy acting as well as doing comedy. You're a performer through and through.
What?
You're doing a one-man show right now called "Till Death Do Us Part."
Who's that?
You
I'm
first.
sorry. Say that again.
You. "Till Death Do Us Part." You first. That's your show. That's your one-man show.
Because of your political views, Larry Silver will not use you?
Wow, there's a serious delay here.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that was one of the reasons. I was very anti-Trump in 2020. And he didn't like that. So I'm going to pause and wait for my audio to catch up to him. So then he'll hear it. He'll answer. It's just a delay.
Yes, because my show, directed by Academy Award nominee Chaz Palminteri, Till Death Do Us Part, You First, I get it.
Now he was actually
It's a
brought to your show in Florida by a mutual friend, and he liked your show so much he decided, hey, let me work with it, let me tweak it, and I think this show is going to go places. And he was right. You've been very successful with this show.
Yes. Yes.
You
Yes,
were also,
and I'm a writer. So
yeah. You were also doing another show. My mother's Italian, my father's Jewish. I'm in therapy.
I get correct.
So, when did you start writing these shows, these plays, one-man performances? When did that start?
Yeah. Yes. I wrote it. I started. So Rory, what do you want to do? You want me to go back to the computer and see if I get a better connection?
Yeah, I think it was better than what we have right now.
There's a delay.
So, yeah, there's a serious delay. So maybe the computer would be better off after all. We'll try that. And Renee and I will entertain while we're waiting for you to come back in.
Is it just such?
But with the Wi-Fi being what it is, I'm not sure if we're going to, it's probably still going to break up.
Is it possible to maybe go in your car and use your mobile network? We've had, sometimes the mobile network is actually stronger than the Wi-Fi. Or if it's a dead zone, it just could be a weird dead zone. It's too bad because he's absolutely fascinating, and it's a fascinating interview.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to hear these stories with his
He's-
jokes, his wits, and you bouncing off him and riffing with the comedy.
Again,
I say
yeah.
if we can't get it right, let's see if we can reschedule and we can do a test. We'll have to do a test with him on a different day and really
Right.
iron out what's going on.
Yeah,
have to
that
figure that
might
out.
be what we have to do. I hope we haven't scared him off.
I don't think so. He's going to the desktop right now, but it's
Yeah.
clearly a buffering sort of Wi-Fi problem. But he's a fantastic guest, and it's a fantastic interview. So we all want to be able to hear this.
Yeah, we can possibly schedule him for July 2nd, which is the next available Tuesday, which is 2 weeks away. And again, maybe he can find a better zone better Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
zone
we can
to
we can
call
do
in
it.
from.
We can do a test. We can do some tests and make sure of that. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
But okay, let me back up here and just while we're waiting for him to come back in. Yeah, he's done comedy for a long time. And again, I did not know he was part of Second City, which is great. Del Close, if you don't know who Del Close is, he's been in a zillion movies. He was in he was the guy that tried to bribe the Untouchables in the Untouchables, and says, "What are you, untouchable?" I mean, they gave that line to him. He was in the updated version of The Blob. He's the preacher in the movie that at the end of the movie he's got the blob in a little jar, a piece of the blob, and which kind of foreshadows that there's going to be maybe another movie, but there wasn't. So he's done a lot of movies. You can look him up, Del Close. He's one of the teachers in Ferris Bueller's Day Off too. I was just talking to the audience about Del Close, explaining some of the movies that he's been in. Can you hear us okay?
Yes.
Okay. Your fan is telling me when you freeze and when you start going again. The fan over your head.
Can you hear me?
Yes. It's not so much a delay that you had before.
Is the camera working? Yeah, everything should be working.
We can see you and we can hear you. Again, you're just chopping up a little bit, but
Can. Do you want to just
what we're talking about, Renee and I, is possibly rescheduling the show and doing a test beforehand to make sure that you got a good Wi-Fi zone.
audio? Cut the video
Would
and just hear me?
it's breaking up. It's chopping up. So yeah, maybe rebook for July 2nd. Can you do July 2nd? Which is another Tuesday. And see if you can find a better, Wi-Fi connection. Like she said, even comedian Scott Hardy usually goes into his car, talks to us from his car. It's a better Wi-Fi zone for him. Because we do want to hear your stories. We know you've got a lot of great stories to tell about comedy and being on the road, about Chaz Palminteri and working with him over the past few years. We want to hear about what you're doing next. So again, possibly reschedule for July 2nd. Does that sound okay?